Hey everyone, so about 2 weeks ago I had my third chemo treatment and things were a lot better than the first time again. So my second and third treatment have been a lot smoother than my first one. I think the third one was probably even more mild than the second one, which is kind of crazy because I think for a lot of people often they kind of get worse. But for me so far they've gotten better. I think that's probably mainly because in the first treatment I had very severe mouth pain, and then the fatigue was very bad because I still had to go to some doctor's appointments and force myself outside, whereas the third treatment I knew what days I was more or less going to be really bad in terms of fatigue, and so I just stayed inside my room. It was all dark. I was just prepared for it and I just stayed really calm and relaxed. So I never got to a point where I was so fatigued that I couldn't even handle podcasts or anything. Kind of at my worst, I could still listen to some podcasts, I could still look at some things on the internet with very dim light. And I didn't have any mouth pain this time, and my stomach cramping was there, but very small. I was really on top of my Movicol, the drinks that I was meant to take for the high fiber content, and I just had some Panadol and an Endone one of the nights, or two of the nights, to make sure I could get through it so I wouldn't be woken up by the stomach cramping, but once again a lot more mild, so that's really good, even though it sucks to even have any side effects. But in terms of chemo side effects, I did really well in the third treatment. The only thing that was particularly different was that when I went for my third treatment, I was in the day treatment instead of upstairs where they do the blood transfusions and everyone's in a room and you can't have anybody sit with you, whereas a day treatment at the hospital that I go to, you can have one person sit with you and it's a much open space and it's really nice. And so I was there for the first time and the nurse was just asking me, general questions about how I'm going, any of my side effects, and just kind of wanting to get an update what's been happening. And then I talked about how I had some heart palpitations. So after the second treatment, I noticed that one time I came out from my bed, I went to the bathroom, and then I came back and my heart was just like beating really hard and fast, and it was just so much harder than it should have been beating for just going to the bathroom. And I thought that was very strange, and so I just told her that, and then she kind of got not worried necessarily, but she said that that's something to be very mindful of. And then she hooked me up to an ECG scan thing, so they looked at how my heart was doing, and then they got a doctor down. And so my chemotherapy, I should have been only in there for maybe 3 hours, but I ended up being there for maybe 5 hours because we had to wait for the doctor, and then they had to look over, and then they had to ask me all these questions about my heart, because obviously the heart is something you have to be paying a lot of attention to. So I got I had the chemotherapy and I've been watching my heart again, and this time, the only time that my heart was acting weird was I woke up from a nightmare one night and my heart was racing because I had a nightmare. But the thing is, when I woke up, it was racing, but it was beating hard. But it was beating so hard, or the muscle around the heart, it was hurting, my heart was hurting. And I've never felt that before. And my heart has never hurt in that way because I'm beating that hard or that stressed out. So that was definitely scary, but just deep breathing and staying calm and just kind of trying to breathe it through. It did calm down and the pain went away very quickly. So I just told my kind of team, my medical team, and they seem to they are thinking about it and being cautious about it, but they don't seem to be too worried at this point unless it becomes something very regular or my heart doesn't calm down. With my deep breathing, if it doesn't calm down, that's when I really have to go straight to the hospital, so that way they can see if there's to make sure that everything's okay and that my heart isn't getting severely damaged, and maybe we'd have to change chemo, which is something that I don't even want to think about. I really don't want that to be the case. And today I had my blood test because I've, as I told you all before, instead of getting the one Neulasta injection once a month, now I have the three little ones every 2 weeks. And so I've been doing that, and I have to do another injection tonight, but I had a blood test today, so we'll see. The people haven't rang me from the hospital, so that must mean that my bloods are fine. So I should be good for chemo tomorrow, which is good. So that way I shouldn't be having any more delays, which is great. And my PET scan to see what's happening with the cancer stuff, to see if my tumor has reduced. Fingers crossed it has. To see what's happening. That PET scan is on the 12th of October. So yeah, things are going okay so far, and I'm looking forward to that scan, and also very anxious. Naturally, I'm very worried that it won't work, and then I might have to change chemo, but I'm sure, I should just, think what is most statistically probable, which is that it's probably reduced. So, unless there's something to worry about, I shouldn't waste energy worrying about it. The other thing that's happening is that on Thursday, I have my graduation, because I finished a Bachelor of Psychology with honours last year, and so I didn't go to my graduation, which was meant to be at the beginning of this year, I think in March or April, because I was overseas in the Netherlands, and so I delayed it for now. So I'm glad that I should be able to go, because I have chemo on Tuesday and then this is on Thursday, and normally my very bad fatigue days kind of hits me Saturday, but on Friday I'm not really feeling that good. So I'm just hoping that on Thursday at 10 a.m, which is when the ceremony starts, I'll be feeling fine, at least fine enough to be there for the few hours, get my certificate, and hopefully enjoy, you know, that moment of graduating officially with the ceremony and all that. That's something that definitely I really wanted to go. At the beginning, like I never, like, you know, throughout graduation and studying and stuff, I never really cared about grad, and I've never been someone who gets really fussed over major events like formals and things like that, or even my birthday. But especially considering what's happened with the cancer stuff, it makes me particularly grateful and makes me realize that, yeah, I did achieve something, and I should be happy that I graduated and enjoy the graduation itself and the ceremony. So I'm going to do that. At the beginning, I was meant to be graduating because my chemo lined up right, and then my chemo got delayed, and then that meant that it didn't line up right, so I wouldn't be able to go. But then it changed again, it got delayed a second time, and so now again I should be able to go. So yeah, it's been a bit up and down, but I'll let you guys know if I am able to go to graduation. Hopefully I am, and I can just hopefully report back that it would have been, that it was awesome. My hair is still falling out, which is very frustrating, but I've been keeping it for quite a while, and the nurse was really surprised that at third treatment I had so much of it left. So that's good. I don't know when I'm going to shave it off. I think I'll just continue to wait until it just doesn't look right. As long as I wash it and blow dry it, I think it looks fine. But if I leave the oil get to it, it sits too flat and it just looks too sick to me. And the other symptom actually that's been getting to me, that I'll probably do a whole video dedicated to it, is chemo brain. Like I noticed it pretty much at the end of first treatment, like right before my second treatment, I started noticing that I was forgetting things. But man, after the third treatment, I really noticed just how much it was affecting my ability to talk and communicate ideas. And yeah, that's been really hard because I really value my mind, and I've always grown up to be quite academic, and so I've always loved thinking and talking and writing about very complex thoughts and ideas. So I find it very hard not being able to communicate coherently at times because of chemo brain, and also forgetting things. I hate forgetting things because I've always been someone who remembers everything. Let me know how you're all going, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video. The battery of my camera is about to run out, so I have to end the video now. But I'll hopefully have another video up soon, especially talking about chemo brain and some experiences that I've had recently that have bothered me. Okay, cool. Bye.